Our first reading today is from Hebrews chapter 2. And this is where we learn that Jesus had to become just like us. Since therefore the children share in flesh and blood, he himself, Jesus, likewise partook of the same things, that through death he might destroy the one who has the power of death, that is, the devil, and deliver all those who, through fear of death, were subject to lifelong slavery. For surely it is not angels that he helps, but he helps the offspring of Abraham. Therefore, he had to be made like his brothers in every respect, so that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in the service of God to make atonement for the sins of the people. And our second reading is from Luke chapter 2, the familiar Christmas story, although we're not going to read it all the way through because it's not Christmas yet, is it? I'm going to read just up to that point. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration when Quirinius was governor of Syria, and all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, to whom he was engaged, who was with child. So, how many days until Christmas? Anybody counting? How many days? 25. It's less than that. 16. 18. Well, it's 17 if you count today. All right, 17 if you count today. So let's think back. Let's kind of pretend. Let's go way back to that first Christmas. That very first Christmas. 17 days before Jesus was born. Where was he? In Mary. Excellent. Excellent. He was in Mary. And Jesus looked something like this inside of Mary. Except he was even bigger than this. This is the biggest baby I have. This baby has about 12 more weeks before she will be born. And Jesus only had about 2 weeks before he would be born at this time. But he looked just like this, just bigger, you see. And you all look like this at one time when you were inside your mom too. You see, Jesus was developing inside of Mary. He was becoming just like us, like the reading said, right? Jesus had hands. See his little hands there? This little girl has them kind of folded over. And little fingers. Yeah. And on those fingers there were what? Fingernails. And if we turned the hand over, what would we see on the other side? Fingerprints. Yeah, fingerprints. Why would Jesus have to have hands?
Because he could do stuff.
He needed to do stuff. He probably helped his dad work where?
In the shop.
In the shop, in the carpenter shop. Why else would he need hands?
To eat.
To eat. That would be good. Although sometimes you don't need hands to eat, huh, Pastor Matty? Can anybody think of any other reason why Jesus would need hands?
To help people.
To help people, he did that. Why else? To pray, good. He prayed to his Father a lot.
For spirit.
Okay? Can you think of any other reasons why Jesus would need hands?
To do miracles.
He did miracles with his hands. To get nailed on a cross, right? Yeah. He needed hands to do all those things that you said. But most importantly, he needed hands because he needed to be nailed on a cross to atone, to save us from our sins. Jesus had feet. See this little girl's feet? She's kind of scrunched up, but sometimes when you're inside your mom, you kick your feet out, and mom goes, "Oh, the baby just kicked me." Yeah. Why would Jesus need feet? To walk, certainly. And he did a lot of walking, didn't he? Didn't have cars in those days. Did a lot of walking and teaching. To what?
To kick a ball.
To kick a ball. Maybe he did. I'm not sure. Yes?
To get nailed on the cross.
Very good. Sign him up, future pastor. Yeah. Yeah, he needed feet. Another reason?
To walk on water.
To walk on water. Very good. Another one on the list. Yeah. Jesus needed feet, most of all, to be nailed on a cross someday. Jesus had a head, didn't he?
Yeah.
And notice how this head is really pretty big in proportion to the body. And that's how we were. Our body kind of catches up after we're born. Yeah. Why did Jesus need a head?
To be nailed on the cross.
Oh, now everybody's getting the answers right here. Yeah.
To get nailed on the cross.
Well, what did he wear on his head when he was on the cross?
A thorn.
Crown of thorns. Yeah, Jesus needed this head to be crowned with thorns. And Jesus had a heart inside of him that was beating away. In fact, his heart was beating ever since he was about 18 days old in his mother's womb. Why did Jesus need a beating heart?
Because he could live.
So he could live. Why? To love. Good. Yes.
To love.
To love.
To love.
Okay. That's the best. That's a pretty good answer. What happened to Jesus' beating heart when he was on the cross?
To die.
He died. His heart stopped, didn't it? And he died. He died for us. So, you see, before Christmas, before Jesus was born, he was getting ready for Christmas just like we're getting ready here in Advent. He was becoming just like us. And he needed to become just like us so he could do all those wonderful things you talked about. But most importantly, so he could someday go to that cross, be nailed to that cross, be crowned with thorns, and then die. So that we never have to worry about death now. We have been called to believe in Jesus and what he has done for us. And so we have the assurance that our sins, all those bad things we do, we have forgiveness. We have the assurance that someday we'll be with Jesus as well. So Advent, it's a time when we get ready for Christmas. It's a time to remember that Jesus too was getting ready, becoming like one of us.